Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we are going to be finally taking a look at the Arbiter's Quest set. This set is technically released now, although only some stores are getting it. The major online retailers are still gearing up to start shipping their copies out. But I was able to get my hands on this thanks to Bingus over in the Discords. So a huge thanks to him. So yeah, let's just start by taking a look at the box. This is, I think, let me think about this for a second. This is the first Halo Universe set we've gotten, like actual set that has the Halo Universe branding. So we've got some new things here. We can see the Halo Universe kind of blue logo here. Chief is like looking off into the distance. And then we get to see our figures all lined up on the side here, which I really like. And then we get to see just the action shot of the Banshee coming in. We have Cesar Refumi over here, our Heretic Elite, and then the little barrier on the top. We get to see Arbiter. We get to see the Heretic again. I really like this side. Look at that. That's like movie poster kind of thing right there. That looks fantastic. I might even try to recreate this in a photo. That looks really good. We've got more shot of the set on there. We got this cool shot of the Heretics over here, and the Arbiter's getting into his Banshee. Then around the back, we get to see the Banshee turned into the Heretic version, and the Covenant, the barrier is now a Covenant one. We get to see our figures, their weapons. We get to see the Falcon sweep down here. We get to see the Fiesta helmet, the 2-in-1 feature. Now, there's a couple things that I really don't like about the back of the box here. First of all, Arbiter's helmet is clipping into his shoulder armor. Like, you can't pose him like that physically. I tried. I really, really tried, but it just doesn't work that way. So that's a little bit frustrating, like the clipping. Mega's been getting worse with that lately. I've been noticing that more and more they'll have the parts clipping through on the figures to get them in certain poses. And I just find that kind of, I don't know, it feels like false advertising when you see the figure in a pose that you wouldn't be able to actually get him into physically. And then down here, this is kind of funny, and it's a little too far away. I'm not going to bother getting in too close so you can see it, but Noble 6 is actually see-through. Like, he's gray, and then all the lighter gray sections show the background through him. So that's a little weird, just a bit of an error there, I guess. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this open. This is one of those new kinds of boxes, so we just have to cut some tape on the side here. It's kind of a shame. This box design, like the way they've set this one up, and I imagine the Falcon Sweep will be very similar. It's a really cool box design. I like how all the like Halo Universe stuff is the extra blue, but it still has the green of the Halo and the orange of the Mega Construx. But since Mega has rebranded and all that, we're going to get different boxes, and they're going to look more almost like model kit boxes. That's what it looks like to me anyway. So it's kind of a shame that this box design is only going to get used a couple times. Okay. Yo, Arbiter's wash. That's so cool. Okay. So here's bag one. Ooh, that purple looks a little bright to me. Wow, okay. Here's our Banshee fronts. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get, like, extra print for all the circuits or whatever that was on the Heretic Banshee in the game. But, you know, it's fine. The fact that they gave us 2 Banshees in one is great. Okay, here we go. Oh, look, Noble 6 is actually, like, fully solid here. He's not, like, phasing into active camo or something. There's the Fiesta helmet as well. I can't wait for that set. That's going to be so cool. And here's our instructions. So now, I'm curious. It's going to tell us to build the Covenant version first, yeah? Yeah, it will. Now, does it tell us how to... Wow, that looks brown. Does it tell us how to transfer it over? Or do we have to go online for that? Oh, we do have to go online? Or are we just supposed to kind of puzzle it out ourselves? Which, I guess that would make sense. So, there we go. You get a total of 3 bags in here. Yeah, labeled 1, 2, and 3. And the box can be resealed, obviously. You just have to hinge it down, reconnect the little pegs here. So this is great for people who like to keep their boxes intact because it looks like it just is still sealed. So let me go ahead and get this built, and we're going to take a closer look. I'm really, really excited about this, especially that Arbiter, because I loved the Chief vs. Arbiter 2-pack version, and this guy looks like he might be even better, but we'll see. And there we go. Everything is put together, and we have quite a substantial pile of extras. So we have the canopy of the Heretic Banshee. We have some extra gold tiles. I don't know if we're going to use these on the Heretic one or not, because there is some on the barrier. Then these pieces are also going to be used later. But then the rest of these, I think, are just extras. So there's some interesting pieces there. And the build overall was really quick, really smooth. It only took me like 12 minutes, 13 minutes overall to get everything all put together. And quality control wise, everything seems to be pretty decent. The only thing I can really complain about is that Heretic Elite, which we'll talk about in a minute. But let's go ahead, jump into the figures, and we will start with Arbiter. There's been a fair handful of Arbiter figures made in the new articulation style, and there's always been some, I don't know, there's always kind of debate about what color Arbiter's armor is. So we've gotten a gold one. No, we've gotten 2 gold ones. One was Series 5. One was in the Warthog run set for the anniversary series that Mega did. We got a like weird beige tan one in Halo Heroes Series 10. We got the super shiny silver one in the Chief vs. Arbiter pack. And now this guy right here goes back to the silver, but Mega decided to bring back a wash. And this wash is absolutely fantastic. It's like a mix of black and brown. Basically, this is the look that I get when I use my like shoe polish weathering. And it's fantastic. The first couple photos I saw of this guy like in hand, the wash looked, I don't know, it looked weird. Maybe it was just because those ones were like the first production run. But this looks great to me. Like absolutely great. My only real complaint about it is it ended up really heavy on like the chest section. While that looks cool, it's technically not accurate. So that's kind of a minor nitpick, but the detail on this armor gets really, really brought out. Look at that. Just shows how well Mega can like get tiny little details on the armor, and then the wash just absolutely makes it pop. And this Arbiter finally has the correct hands. So he's got the accurate hands. And that looks great. And now he'll match with the Shipmaster from the 20th anniversary pack. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. I am really surprised. I was not really looking forward to getting another Arbiter because I was like, you know, the Chief versus Arbiter one was the best. I don't really need another one. But Mega has outdone themselves here. I'm going to do an entire video comparing the 2 Arbiters, but this guy he's exceeded my expectations. And then his undersuit is kind of this like gray blue color, and then the torso under there is more of a just gray. And then underneath his skin is this lighter color. I know there's like this debate going on about like Mega being accurate with their elite skin tones. I honestly don't remember exactly what color Arbiter's skin appears in the game. I think it was, isn't it kind of maybe a darker tan? I don't know. When you put the helmet on, it doesn't really matter too much. There's not as much contrast between the helmet and the skin, but that's not bad. He's got a carbine here. I'm not sold on this color purple. This is a very bright, very toyish purple. It just doesn't look as good as like the older metallic purple Covenant stuff, so I don't really know. This might be, yeah, it kind of looks like it's maybe the same color as the Needler. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about this. Definitely not on par with the weapons that came in the other Silver Arbiter, but, you know, it is what it is. This is not a Halo Heroes figure. I just wish maybe it was a little bit darker. But yeah, overall, this dude is really, really good. I am shocked And I really, really want Mega to continue the adding of the wash stuff, like, because this looks great. Please, Mega, keep this up. Next up is a figure that I think a lot of us never really thought would be made in Mega form, but we have a Heretic Elite. He has like basically all the same molds as Seiza, but in gold this time. And his eyes are actually printed in a white. The box really doesn't show this. I thought maybe it was just going to be yellow, and I was like, that's kind of disappointing, but Seiza's eyes are yellow, so I guess it just blends in. But no, Mega went out of their way, gave us a little white eye print. Got the green, got all the green print here. Silver on the shoulders. Looks really good. Very, very cool. This is one you definitely probably will want to get a couple of. Now, here's the quality control issue. Yeah, like the arm is pushed all the way in, and it's the same on the other side. So I'm going to have to probably search through my extra parts and find another torso, or just other upper arms that fit into this torso. I have yet to figure out how to fix this issue. I'm going to be making some videos on like how to fix some of the more common quality control errors, like the loose hand issue, but I have yet to fix this one. So maybe this will be my test subject to try and figure that out. He comes armed with an old style energy sword. Looks really good. I love the older mold. I like them both, but I like that Mega has been using the older one a lot. He's got the correct hands. And overall, I think he just looks really good. I don't have a ton of reference for like the in-game versions, like how accurate this guy is, but he looks pretty cool. And the gold rubber on the headpiece is a little bit stiffer than the red. So that means his little mouthpiece stays in more, which is really nice. So yeah, this guy is a really great addition, and it's a fantastic way to start the Halo Universe line. Like, if we get figures like this in Halo Universe, who knows what they'll end up doing. I hope that by time Halo Universe has been running for a couple years, that we're going to be getting pretty much like all the obscure figures. Like, that will be fantastic. So props to Mega for bringing this guy into the lineup. And here he is, the main heretic himself, Seiza Refumi. Now, this one looks like he's probably going to be almost identical to the figure that came in the 20th pack. I'll do another video comparing the two. But the main like big difference that I see right off the bat is we finally get correct hands for him. Looks like maybe they're using a different like forearm mold to fit the new hand. And the forearms have some really nice print. The elbows are kind of still gray, but the like forearm armor or whatever that is red. Looks really good. He, of course, comes with his dual plasma rifles. I almost said pistols. And as usual, I put them on upside down so I can actually pose them around because the top part is just too big. The eye print on this guy could have been better. It's not like atrocious, but it's not great. There's a little overspill. And the red rubber, like I was saying, is a lot softer, so his little mouthpiece wants to pop out all the time. I may end up putting a little piece of sticky tack on the end to keep that in there. He has the chest print, as usual, with the little blue lights. Silver on the shoulders, the green in the jetpack, and around the back, not really any print. This is the third time we're getting Seiza, so for some people, maybe this is a little redundant. But I know the Heroes version is a little tough to get, and the 20th version is definitely hard to get because the 20th pack still is pretty difficult to get. Fingers crossed that the stock that's supposed to be coming to Amazon soon will fix that. But yeah, it's just good that Mega is making sure that people can get their hands on such an important character. And the way that they've done it too is really good. And I would say that this version most likely will end up being the one you want to have as like top spot in your collection purely because of how accurate he is with the hands. But that'll remain to be seen. We still have to compare it to the 20th version to see if I'm correct in saying that. Now, moving on to the builds, we have our Banshee. This is our first like just straight up Covenant Banshee. Since the, what was that, the Aerial Ambush, the re-release of the Aerial Ambush. So this is really cool, and since it's in a small set, you can easily like army build this, buy 2 or 3 of them, have a little squad of Banshees flying around, and that would be like great for a diorama or something. One of the things that stuck out to me as I was building was, so you can fold the wings down if you want to. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Now it looks like a rocking horse or something. But there's like these bumpers here, so when you fold the wings up, they don't go up any further. The Banished Banshee, you can kind of position the wings how you want, and there's not as much of a stopper. But I like the fact that this one has the angle of the wings set, so you don't really have to fiddle with it. The canopy looks really nice. The like purple spray over the top looks really good. Then we have these printed pieces for the guns. Those don't shoot, but we do have the shooters underneath here, so we can fire off stuff. Oh my gosh, the bolt just went flying. We get a total of 6 of these shots, so even if you lose one, you'll have plenty more. And I think that this was a really good move on Mega's part, because the guns are nice and accurate when you're just looking at it, but we still do get the play feature. It's really easy to get your hands on the trigger while you're flying this around, and I think that was just overall really good choice. We got kind of our little, what are these, like the engine sections or whatever. There's like a bar back here, so I guess you could do like Banshee hijacking, have a Spartan hang off the back. And on the box, it keeps showing the Banshee like flying around like this, or maybe like that with like a big gap. Maybe that's accurate, but when you're closing it, it closes all the way down like that. Inside, we have like a printed, there we go, printed tile and some handles. So let me grab Arbiter and see if I can get him posed up in here. I've always found it a little difficult to like pose figures in a Banshee. Okay, he's got his hand on one handle, got his hand on the other. Oh, wait, I understand now. I see now why. So when you put the figure in, it won't close down all the way. Now, I'll probably do some Googling, or maybe you guys can just tell me in the comments. Is that, like, accurate? Should Mega have made it close down all the way, or is that the way it's closed up accurate? I don't really know. I kind of feel like maybe they could have made it close a little more. Wait, if I pose him like that. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe is this accurate? Maybe it's not. I'll have to check that up. But yeah, somebody tell me in the comments what is more accurate, the more close or just kind of how it sits like this. We get a stand. This can be a flight stand for the Banshee if you want to, or you could attach Seiza to it if you want him flying around. So yeah, this is really cool. It's very swooshable. I want to kind of compare it to the Banished one at some point. And honestly, I would love to compare it to the one from the Aerial Ambush, but there's no way I'm getting my hands on an Aerial Ambush. Not for a while anyway. It's so expensive now. I mean like the newer version. I imagine the build is fairly similar, but yeah, that's too expensive right now. So now I want to figure out how difficult is it to switch this over to the Heretic Banshee. So let's go ahead and grab our extra parts and see if we can figure it out. So the extra parts do turn into a little barrier. You can kind of like put some guides behind it. This is more for, I don't know, blocking a hallway or something. There's not really much cover behind it. So I don't really know what the point of it is. It does look pretty cool. It definitely looks like something that you would see in Halo, maybe to just block off a doorway or something. It also looks like a weird little face. But it's nice that Mega didn't just leave these in a pile and they did something with the extra parts, because you can stick this in a diorama and it adds a little bit. So let's see here. The Heretic Banshee looks like we have gold on the tail. The backing for the guns are gold. The wings. Okay, so I'm going to have to reference that picture. They don't give you any instructions for this. I don't entirely know that instructions are necessary, but for some people this might be a little difficult just to look at it. So hopefully this helps. So we got the gold pieces, right? So that's going to be our first step for now. We're going to switch the guns to being backed with gold. It's easy enough. And then there is instructions to build the barrier, of course. So for the Covenant version, obviously you just follow those same steps, just using all of the purple pieces instead. Okay, so there's that. So first step done. Second step is going to be removing the canopy, which the way this attaches is so much better than the banished one. I don't feel like I'm going to break anything. It just goes right on there. So peg that on. All right, so there's that. And then we'll do the side pieces here. Side pieces are supposed to be gold. Come on, get off there. Oh my gosh, that was really sticking. So we're going to do this. You know what, let me pull the wings off. I'm going to have to pull the wings off anyway, I think, because there's going to have to be a little bit of like surgery on the wings here. Wait, what did I just do? Oh, I broke this one. I did it again. So that piece likes to come off, apparently. Yeah, so what we're going to have to do is take the wings apart a bit. But let me do these first before I get sidetracked and start leaving things half done. Okay, so step 1, the guns. Step 2, the canopy. Step 3 is these little side panels. Step 4 is going to be these squares here. Wait, I have a brick separator. What am I doing? There we go. Banshees look super goofy without their wings. I mean, if we're being honest, the Banshees are a slightly goofy looking vehicle to begin with. But it definitely looks more goofy without the wings. Alright, so there's that. Now, what we're going to do here, I think those other gold tiles are extra. I don't know why they gave us extra, but they did. So we'll do this. Okay, so that's what you do for the wing. And then we need to take, okay, that came right off. So this needs to be detached. That needs to be detached. This is definitely not a quick transfer. This is a full-on, you know, you're rebuilding it basically. It's not from scratch, but it is a little bit involved. So we have this, and I guess this is just going to go back on. Wait, I forgot the purple piece. This is going to go back on like that, then like that. So now we're good there. So now we can put this back on, reattach that. So now the wing is almost done, but now what we need to do is we need to remove the engine like this, because now we are going to rebuild it in silver to kind of match the Heretic aesthetic a little more. I wonder why the Heretics decided to go with gold or like yellow. Was it just because they wanted to look different from the Covenant? Like, or is there some like lore stuff that I don't know? Okay, so now we have this. Nice, looking good. Okay, now it's off balance. Stand up. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other wing. Just the same process. We'll remove this. You know what, let's go ahead and just put the engines on while we're here. Pop that on. Pop that on. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. Okay, so now this engine is all set. Honestly, they probably could have left it silver, because the silver would have looked decent with the purple, but I guess they wanted the accuracy, which I can understand. Gosh dang it. Off balance Banshee. This gold is pretty nice. It looks like kind of on par with Lego's Pearl Gold. There's that. Wait, no, I did that wrong. That's on. Now we just need to swap this panel off. The side panels, I'm looking. The side panels don't ever get removed. Which you could, though. Because there is extra ones of these, you could do this and attach that on there. The picture on the back does not show that. You can clearly see here, right where the Heretic Elite is stepping, that's where the gold would be if they wanted you to switch that. And there's no gold. So we're not going to put that on there. And I think we're done. Very nice. Okay, so let me rebuild the barrier into the Covenant version, and then we'll take a closer look at the Heretic Banshee. Alrighty, there we go. So here's the Covenant barrier. Honestly, it looks a little bit better in the Covenant colors, but still, it's not a ton of like actual usable cover. I suppose you could like switch these front pieces so that it was more like this, maybe? I don't know. It's an interesting piece, regardless. Let me just put that back together. I'm still confused as to why there's another set of these in gold. There was really no explanation. These pieces are loose unless you want to put it up here. Now it looks like some sort of weird clown. There's our canopy. And then the Heretic Banshee looks really good, actually. The purple and gold and silver, they kind of clash, but they clash in the right ways. The only kind of downside I see is that we don't get all that cool like circuitry and stuff on the front. Overall, though, I think this was a really good choice by Mega, and it looks pretty good. But I'm curious now. So Arbiter fits, right? But I want to know, can we fit a Heretic in here? Because that's kind of important. Because this is a Heretic Banshee. So you would think that a Heretic would be the one flying it. But I'm thinking that this is not really going to work out. Well, it kind of does. That's as far as you can close the canopy without it banging against the jetpack. I guess you could remove the jetpack, but they don't usually. They usually just climb in like that. So, I don't know. Again, maybe that's kind of accurate, but it looks weird to me, having such a big gap. It looked better with Arbiter in it. So that's the main downside about the Heretic version, is you can't close it all the way with your Heretic inside. And that goes for both Sesa and the Heretic Elite, because they're exactly the same in terms of mold. So, yeah. Whoops, I accidentally broke that. That is a little flimsy. But yeah, the idea behind it's really good. I just don't really know what's, like, if this was a good thing or not. I don't know. Mount it back up. It's flying very low, but it's nice that they included a flight stand. And of course, if you wanted to, you can use the gold to kind of add your own markings. So this is kind of like a two-face Banshee right here. You look on this side, it's pure Covenant. You flip it around and you realize it's halfway Heretic. So that's kind of an interesting option. I don't know that a lot of us who get this set are going to want to do that necessarily, but it is an option, you know, if you just want to kind of have your own custom Banshee. You know, maybe you have a custom Elite character that you want to have his own, like, custom ride. I don't know. It's an option, so it's kind of interesting. Well, there you have it. That is the Arbiter's Quest. This is quite the set. Like, I gotta say, I'm more impressed by this than I was expecting to be. So, I think, now somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first set we've gotten in a long time that hasn't had some human character in it. Because even, like, the Banished Garrison pack, we still got 2 humans in that set. So, I don't know, it's been since the Brute Customizer pack, I think. The like Halo Wars one. That we got a pack with no humans at all. So this is interesting in that regard. It's also interesting because of like the new character, returning characters, just how iconic this scene, or kind of, I don't know if scene is the right word, but this whole part of the Halo story is. And the fact that we have the 2 Banshees is also really interesting. I like what I like their thought process behind it. Was it perfect? No. Was it a good choice on their part? Yes, definitely. Even though the Heretic Banshee isn't perfect, I think that giving us the option to switch the parts over was just really, really good on their part. I think that was absolutely fantastic. It adds a lot of value to the set. You can buy 2 or 3 of these and have some of them be Covenant, some of them be Heretic, and that's really, really good. That pile of extras confuses me still, so that's a little weird. The barrier is an alright build. Like, it's a great side piece, but it does its job in holding your extras, where you need to be able to see them. And then quality control wise, I really only have the issue with this guy. Hopefully that's not widespread, and hopefully I can fix it. And then I guess Seisa's eyes are kind of meh. But overall, I'm really happy with the set. I think Mega did a fantastic job. I think for this being the very first like Halo Universe set that I've gotten in hand, aside from the blind bags, Halo Universe is such a promising line, and Mega has started off with a bang. Like, this Arbiter figure is absolutely fantastic, and it's just really, really well done. Overall, Mega just big thumbs up. Now, this set is, like I said earlier, technically released, but a lot of the online like retailers like Amazon and whatnot, they're saying they're not shipping till June. Whereas a lot of stores are starting to get it. I think Mexico has these fairly readily available, and then some parts of the US are getting them. So hopefully that I'm really, really hoping that this is going to be available for everybody, because this is one that really needs to be available for everybody. It's some important characters, an important vehicle. Like, this is one we haven't seen in this, just normal Covenant Banshee in a little while. So this needs to be available for everybody. So Mega, I don't know if anybody from Mega ever even sees these videos, but like, please make sure that people can get their hands on this, because this is a must-have for Halo collectors. And if nobody can buy it, that's going to be really, really bad. So bottom line is, this is a definite must-buy. Even if you already have an Arbiter, even if you already have a Seisa, go ahead and buy it anyway. You will not be disappointed. And like I said, I was not really super excited about this set at first when I first saw it, because I was like, oh, another Arbiter, another Seisa, I don't really need them. But Mega has done some really nice upgrades, particularly with Arbiter. So you won't be disappointed even if you have duplicates of Arbiter and whatever. The army building potential for this set is hindered a little bit by the fact that we do have 2 named characters. So like, if you just wanted a handful of these guys, you're going to end up with a handful of Arbiters and a handful of Seisas as well. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but that's really the only downside that I can see to this set as a whole. And that's not even like a valid complaint, I feel, because this is not meant to be an army builder. It's meant to be a set that encompasses a scene from the games, not necessarily, just a way to stock up on some soldiers. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.